firearms in city parks. Mr. Kozachik.
Yeah, first of all, I want to make it clear that this was on last week's agenda item, and so I don't want to have to entertain any allegations that this is some sort of an overreaction to last Saturday's shooting. So I was going to pull this before that even occurred. I'm surprised that there are people in the community who would feel that they're safer in our parks at their kid's birthday party if they're carrying a weapon. I don't know if the people in Mesa have a problem with proliferation of people being held at gunpoint in their parks, but we don't here in Tucson. And my opinion is that this is a solution looking for a problem. And if we don't deal with it, we may wind up with a bigger problem than what this alleged solution is going to take care of. And so I'd like to ask the city attorney some questions as to whether or not we can amend this, because this is our adoption of this is a reaction to state law that we are just rolling our code into. So a few specific questions. We have people renting spaces in our city parks for parties and picnics and things, and they set aside ramadas and things. Do we have the authority to allow those people to prohibit firearms within the confines of their own parties when they're renting them?
Councilmember Kozachik, the short answer is no. We can't. The city and its permittees cannot exclude persons with firearms from a city property other than city buildings, and there's restrictions on our ability to do that as well. Folks who have exclusive use of areas may be able to control who attends their events as invitees only, but it wouldn't be based on the question of whether they are carrying a firearm or not.
So the individuals renting our space can't even rent them on the basis that they could put a check off on the facility reservation form saying this is a guns-free zone.
No, they couldn't, because it's what the legislature has done is they've taken away the ability for the city or its permittees to prohibit the carrying of weapons in those public places. In 2010, the state legislature adopted House Bill 2543, which took away that authority, preempts us, and preempts our ability to exclude those persons from public areas, city parks, zoo, etc. So based on that, we have a city code that's no longer enforceable under city law, and the ordinance you have in front of you tonight makes the amendments necessary in the code to bring it in line with the state law.
And I understand the bit about these kinds of buildings and private sector businesses, they can post a sign. This is specific to public parks. Can we require that they give us notice that they're intending to take a firearm into a public park so that at least we know their intentions?
We cannot.
Well, I feel safer already. And you've already answered this. We have no authority to prohibit ammunition or in public parks.
That's right.
I understand that we're just rolling our ordinance in to become compliant with state law, but I'm not going to make the motion to pass it just because and I know it's totally symbolic, but I'm just kind of we talk a lot about preemption at this table, and I know it's a losing a vote on this is a Pyrrhic victory, but I'm just not interested in supporting a motion on this.
Councilman Cunningham.
Do we have a deadline? Do we have a deadline that we got to do this?
Councilman Cunningham, I would say there's no deadline. It's just recognize that whether we change the code or not, we can't enforce it as written.
All right, then I'll make a motion that we not do this.
Is there a second?
That we not change our
compliance with the state law.
Okay, motion fails. Is there a motion to adopt this item?
I move we pass and adopt a consent agenda item F based on the notion that we must come in compliance with state law.
Is there a second? It fails also. No motion.
In the absence of action by the council, our code won't change. The legal advice will remain the same, of course, and the general orders that TPD has already put into effect and the rules that Parks has put into effect will already stay in place. And so in terms of practice, we will be in compliance with state law.